More now on the tragedy involving 25-year-old Jelani Day. Right now, police are still calling this investigation. They're not ruling out whether Jelani Day's death could become a homicide case. We're waiting for word on that. But joining me right now is Seve Day. He is the brother of Jelani Day. Thank you so much for joining us. We know this is a tragic time for you and your family. First and foremost, our condolences. We have been sharing your family's story, your brother's story. It's heartbreaking, so our condolences first. And the first thing I want to do is just honor his memory. What can you share with us about your brother?
My brother was just like a more innocent version of me. He was always happy. He was always happy to meet new people, always willing and ready to just have fun anytime he could. Just a vibrant spirit, vibrant soul. None of this makes sense. It's definitely a homicide. Just how the police officers, the officials, the detectives, or however they want to title themselves, they're not doing what they need to be doing what they need to be doing to help us find this out.
Yeah, we know that your family reported your brother missing nearly a month ago. Can you describe a little bit what happened with your interactions with police during that time?
Yes, so when we initially found out this, my older brother had contacted me, and instantly we went down to see what was going on. Mainly when anything happens, everybody always calls me, because I'm usually the person that knows everything that's going on. But this time I was like struck and distraught because I didn't know exactly how to explain this to anybody or what to do forward next. So upon meeting up with the police, we got into my brother's apartment. Usually you would think that they would, yellow tape everything. They wouldn't allow anybody to take anything out the home or anything like that. But they did allow me to take my brother's laptop, and myself, and occasionally my sister would come with me to go to different locations and areas to go try to, talk to businesses or officials. It was really us doing this footwork. And then when we found the car 2 days afterwards that my brother went missing, in Peru, Illinois, the police there in Peru never did an official search until a week later. It was up to my mom and the family members in our community where we're from. Friends from all over came out to help us conduct a search in the area so that we can go ahead and try to find clues or evidence and report back to them so they can do what their badge is for, so we can find out more evidence, more things, try to help find my brother, because it felt like we were alone in this in the very beginning. They tried to say that was he depressed because of his program. My brothers were not built like that. From a very young age, we would always talk to face our problems head on. So whatever happened, whether it's something that was stressful for us, he would have came and talked to us about it. It was nothing that he would have ran away from or tried to run away from, because he knew he had support, he knew he had help. So it was a lot at first they were trying to say he was depressed and stressed by his master's program. It couldn't have been, and I know it couldn't have been, because we're not built that way.
I really admire you for your strength in talking about this and just hearing what you had to go through, searching for clues while you're grieving. That must have been so difficult. I mean, at what point did your family say, we're upset, we're grieving, but the police aren't doing enough, we just have to do it ourselves? Like, how did that all happen?
Pretty much in the first couple of days. Just from anybody can really tell, like from the first 48 hours, the whole show called First 48. The first 48 hours are so important and crucial. After that time frame, the chances of finding out more evidence or what happened drops by less than 50%. So the time was not on our side at all. It never been. And us trying to talk to them, they kept on asking about, was he on different drugs? Did he have issues with people in the classroom? Was he a part of a gang? Like, all these stereotypes that they were asking us, and we're telling them repeatedly over and over, like, no, that it's not none of that at all. No, he wouldn't run away. No, he didn't have any issues with people. He just moved to the Bloomington area. He didn't know anybody out there. I was going to myself introduce him to people that I knew. I have some friends in that area. I know some people in that area. He didn't know many people because he just came back home. He just came back home and tried to further his degree. And with everybody trying to make their own headline about what was going on, it was very frustrating for us. It was very frustrating for the family, my friends, his friends. We didn't want any of that type of attention to be on his name because that's not who he was at all. We knew that we had to just toughen up. No matter what type of emotions we were feeling at the time, we had to go ahead and find out what was going on and get to the bottom of it, because I know that us weeping our own sorrows and feeling sad and sorry for ourselves wasn't going to get the job done. We had to just toughen up and reach out to these agencies and hire a private investigator and go to these businesses every day from sun up to sundown looking at camera footage that the police should have done and reporting back to them so they can use their power to get us more answers. So it's just, I know I took a couple classes in criminal justice myself when I was in school, but I shouldn't be the one that's in going to Dollar General or going to the side streets or going to these other businesses to watch their footage, begging them to watch the footage, to give answers, to find myself and my family some more substance so we can try to see which way his car went. So we can tell the detective, hey,
Yeah.
check in this area because they're not letting us do this.
Yeah, it's absolutely remarkable that you were able to do all that. What about social media and the national attention that your family would have? Would that bring answers? And I know you said earlier, you didn't really want to be in the spotlight in that way, but don't you think that social media is the way to really get widespread notoriety so you can get help and bring attention to things?
Yeah, I definitely agree. With the help of people that I knew and my friends, our family members, and people that I don't even know that have been watching the story who reached out. They all been a huge, tremendous help with us reaching out to the major platforms and bringing the attention to my brother's name so we can go ahead and bring the spotlight to him so we can get the FBI involved so that we can get the attention that he needs to somebody to look at their Ring cameras. Because at first, nobody was even trying to do all that extra work, and it's not that it was like that we're asking for a lot. We're just asking for somebody to just do your job and take the time to look at the video footage of your homes, your businesses, report back to us or our private investigator. We started pumping his name out more. We started getting more and more information that could lead us to, where he was at and what was going on. I feel like social media is definitely a powerful tool, and I'm glad that we did make such a powerful social media push. Some of his friends in Alabama were definitely a lot of help by making different flyers and staying in contact with us. My friends and family all over been reaching out and calling different FBI bureaus at a different time of the day. We set different times to tag all news stations and get their attention, and it definitely helped. And I'm glad it did, because my brother's name, his story, this case is not going to be a dead end. It's not going to be an unidentified circumstance, was not going to be ruled out as a suicide because we know it's a homicide. We know that it's more details out there, and the police need to stop hiding or whatever they're doing, whatever they call themselves doing. They need to let us know what's going on and do their job.
Yeah, Seve, absolutely. And, we hear it in your voice, and we heard it in your mother's when she made comments, this kind of feeling that, you're not asking for too much. You deserve that. You're not asking too much. That's what you're supposed to be provided as an American citizen. You're supposed to get protection from the law, help from the law. So what you all are doing is not asking too much. It is understandable. The minute people hear your brother was a master's student, I mean, my goodness, he went on to further his studies. Clearly, he was a young man with a bright future. Again, we're so sorry for your loss. What's the next step for you and your family?
The next step for us is putting more fire under these investigators. The next step for us is making sure that, like I said, try to find out what exactly happened and what is going on. I know that with all these conspiracies that's going on, I know a lot of people have been DMing my mother, like, psychic readings, things of that nature. I hate seeing her go through that. I hate seeing her, you know, wanting to look at all these odd messages and things that she's been getting, and coming up with different things, and we're all doing our best to try to keep her sane, my family sane, and things like that we just don't need. So one thing I do want to make sure that is that we get the FBI involved. We make sure that we get the correct detectives and investigators on the case, so that we're not doing the footwork. I myself and my other siblings, we haven't worked since we heard from all this happened. I haven't been to work since the 24th, 23rd, probably sometime before that. We all been out here on foot every day. My mom's been trying to manage herself, control herself for doing these interviews. We've been trying to help her do these interviews to get the attention out that we need to get more help from the FBI.
We hope that this interview will help. We absolutely hope that this interview and all the other interviews that you are doing will help, and we understand the grief that your family feels. And once again, we want to express our condolences to you and your family, and thank you so much for joining us here on BNC. We appreciate it.